What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I will be your host this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where I hang out after the end of a long week, long after I probably should have gone to bed, and work on through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures that I've accumulated over the years that need painting. There's an old adage that says that if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die, so this is our attempt to just stave off death for as long as possible. And of course I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line is our resident monkey handler, Rudy Gambit. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great. Super glad to be here.
Me too. What a night last night, though, too, by the way.
It was so great. I had so much fun, and I was just glad how amazingly well my deck worked out. I was really worried about it. So
yeah, it was a gamble well worth playing. I had so much fun commentating on your deck. I would encourage you. I'm uploading it to YouTube right now to go back and watch some of the things that I said. Because I was absolutely blown away by how phenomenally your deck was firing.
Yeah,
as RPD says in the chat, it was quite a journey, and we look forward to doing it again. But for tonight, it's time to paint some miniatures. As with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, with that, shall we paint some minis?
Yes, we should.
All right, tonight I have
Oh no, mic went out. That's no fun. So yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. While Zach tries to get everything up and running again, I guess I shall add in that while he's taking Star-Lord and some X-Men, I've got 2 more Vault Hunters left, and today I think I'm going to be starting on Maya, the Siren from Borderlands 2. Let's get to it. I'm going to need some yellow.
Okay, that should fix it. I think I'm back. For some reason, it just lost connection. But yeah, so I've got X-Men and Star-Lord for some reason because I was bored of painting X-Men. I had a day off at the beginning of the week, and I decided to do some base coating so that you all can see me work on end phase stuff instead of just base coating every week. So that's what I'm doing. We'll make do. Hey RPD, how you doing? No, it's not Board of the X-Men RPD. More accurately, Board of X-Men colors. They all use the same yellow and blue and flesh color base coats. And it's just very monotonous trying to base them. But highlighting them is going to be a lot different because like Jubilees raincoat here versus Kitty's like X-Men uniform are highlighted differently. So I'm actually going to start with Jubilee tonight at Rudy's suggestion. It's a good one. Although, by the way, Mike, did you see that I inked Star-Lord's base purple?
I did not see that.
Oh, the music's a bit loud. All right.
Nice. So it looks like an alien planet, not just...
Yeah, exactly. I thought it might be RPD. Thank you for telling me that. Where the heck am I painting? Oh, there it is. Way over here. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna get the flesh out of the way because I hate doing it. Flesh is so much easier on characters with like extreme muscle definition.
Yes.
Your average Joes, it's just like, nah. It's not fun. But here we are. Flip my wipe thing over here too. I'm also trying to, like, Jubilee's a little darker complexion, slightly darker complexion than some of the other X-Men. So I'm going a little bit lighter on the highlight coat. That was a little too much. Yes, we did clutch out a win, RPD, due to some heroics on Greg's part, or maybe just some balling. Like, it was more of a ball so hard play. Jacqueline flubbed her draw to close it out, and which was a huge setback. Like, I legitimately told her to go all in because I didn't think the game was going to go another round. My mistake there was not realizing that other players did not have the fighting capability that she did.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah.
I literally have no way to fight enemies. Like, the only way I deal with enemies is to exhaust them and run away.
So are you gonna upgrade into that, or are you just gonna ball so hard and stick it out?
I'm still gonna stick with the whole let me evade enemies shit.
I think that's a good move. It's one that's kind of underrepresented in the decks that Sammy and I build. Because Sammy's just so obsessed with beating down that.
Yeah.
It's hard to convince him to build a deck that doesn't just beat. We call that archetype a Jeremy. I was honestly very surprised to find that my, like, preferred role is clue getter.
Yeah.
Normally I'm also the kind of person who just likes to beat face, but in this particular game that is not the case.
It's not always like the best course of action. I don't mind beating face, but I end up finding myself doing the more clue gathering, mostly because PC likes beating face.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit more straightforward.
Right, it's a lot less risky.
Yeah. My whole real archetype or whatever though is like some sort of jank.
Yeah.
Like, I try and find silly combos and things to exploit and try and just figure out hilarious things to pull off.
And that deck certainly did that. I'm also all about, kind of coming up with something weird that works. One of the things about that Zoe deck is it doesn't use some Zoe staples.
Mm-hmm.
And it favors, like, weird, slightly more out there combos, which, like, Jacqueline may not have seen immediately, but one of the things that I was saying behind the scenes is Jacqueline picked up on a lot of the nuance of her deck very quickly. Yeah. She had one play in particular that I was like, I don't think she's going to see this, and then she immediately did, and I was like, oh wow, okay, there it is.
Yeah, she piloted that deck very well and did exactly what she was supposed to do.
And one of the things about that deck too is it's like, and I think it might have discouraged Jacqueline a little bit. It doesn't. It doesn't need things in play. In fact, it kind of relies on things not being in play. It relies very heavily on commissions and sort of like one-shot effects.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I have a Zoe deck that I ran a while back. And like so, even the more straightforward like combat, I still try and find out silly combos and other stuff to pull off.
Yeah.
And it revolved around the Guardian Thompson.
Oh
So,
yeah.
The base one is like Guardian Rogue, and then you can upgrade into either the Guardian or the Rogue one.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the Guardian has to take the Guardian one. But it's like it comes into play with 6 ammo, and as you shoot and use the ammo, you get it as resources.
Right.
And so it's kind of like a Voltron deck around that. You start with Prepare for the Worst. You start with the Stick to the Plan, or that lets you pull out like three cards.
Yeah.
And you stick it underneath it, and then you like prepare for the worst to dig for it if you can't find it. And then there's like some upgrade cards that are like blessed ammunition or something that like will fit under that, and so she can pull off like a 4 damage base attack against any sort of monster enemy, and as she burns off the ammo, she gets resources, and then you throw in like one of her splash cards is like the red card that's like discard an asset. You get the plus X, which is the cost plus like in resources, and then you get like a bunch of extra damage and stuff. But you take the upgrade as well that lets you, when you discard a weapon or the attached item, it comes back to your hand.
Yep.
And then it's like you just burn out all the ammo, and then you throw that item at the monsters, and just pick it back up, and then you got back all the resources, just play it again, and just re-put on all the upgrades and stuff onto it. And it just recycles the same cards a whole bunch, and it's hilarious, and it works out so well and just murders monsters.
Right. All right, I'm actually really happy with Jubilee's face here. It'll be hard to see on camera, but I did a lot of the detail beforehand. And this is the one I was complaining about painting eyeliner on, because she's a kid. Like, she's not supposed to have eyeliner in the way that, like... I mean, even Jessica Jones would have it.
Yeah. I was about to say, I've got Maya, and she's going to have eyeliner as well, so I will be in that struggle as well tonight.
Yeah. The struggle is real, folks.
Yeah, it's not fun. That's good to know.
Excuse me. Teagless blue for her shoes. I did remember to turn the light on tonight.
That's good.
Yeah. That'll be fine. Greg definitely had a couple of, like, really Kyle moves last night, too, that paid dividends for him. A couple of his attacks were absolute garbage. I was commenting on, like, he's got like 2 tokens in the bag that'll pass him here.
And he'd still pull it. Yeah, I was very much on the same boat. with trying to minimize like the me playing for everyone, but like I try to offer suggestions when I could without trying to like be that kind of player.
Well, especially toward the end of the game too, I was breaking in and adding suggestions because like at some point Greg just got way fast and loose, and I'm like, ooh, dude.
It's like it paid off so many times that he just kind of didn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. One of the things I want to get Chamali to script into that mod is like if I'm doing commentary, I want to have a token in all of your tray or all of your player areas that flips to either red or green, so you guys know when I'm talking, and it'll minimize the amount of talking over each other that we do.
Yeah.
Because as I played it back, like there's a fair amount of me talking over you guys. I also I might turn down your volume, like everybody else's volume, a little.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah. RPD, how was it from a chat perspective? The price of pulling off some of those maneuvers is the awareness of your own mortality. I also think Jacqueline's feedback was really good. It was a lot, but that's more because it's the first time I've seen it played. There were moments that it felt like everyone was spinning their wheels waiting for you to stop explaining so they could just go, yeah. It was a new format for us. It was one that Chamali and I kind of developed on the fly. And I wasn't entirely sure how the commentary bit was going to work, but I was pretty happy with it. I mean, there's no real way for me to mute everybody else and like cut someone off in the middle of conversation. Oh, I really like the way that boot came out. It's not going to show up very well on camera, but I'm fond of that. This back boot's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. We're looking at a lot of like how other people are painting comic book miniatures, and I think there's easier way. Like I'm trying out a couple of easier techniques for shading that allow a little bit more of the base coat to show through, because that's kind of how comic books are shaded. Like, almost to the point where if it wasn't for you, they'd be taking their turns simultaneously. Well, that's part of it too, RPD, is like, I want to avoid that, because one of the complaints, or one of the criticisms we get on Trapped in Arkham is that people are playing too fast and people can't keep up. You've become a little bit more aware of our personalities, and you know how we operate and how we play off of each other. So you kind of have some level of expectation going into it. But someone just finding our channel might have a little bit more difficulty following Greg being a Bonzi buddy. I looked into how the other people are drawing and came up with the conclusion that only we know the real truth. Okay. It also helps that I don't take the mechanics of what's going on that seriously, and in doubt I can start making fun of things. Yeah, right. So we're trying to make this a little bit more inclusive in that way. Don't get me wrong. I, for one, appreciate your shenanigans. I'll need a bigger brush. So Jacqueline's going to try and get her 3D printer spun up this week.
Oh, nice. I didn't know she had one.
Yeah, she bought one when we did. But really because it was on sale. Like, I think she bought it because it was on sale, and you and I bought them.
We're bad influences.
We are. Buy 3D printers, everybody.
But only if they're on sale.
But only if they're on sale. I want a PLA printer, like a plastic printer, so bad. Welcome to Trapped by Printer Purchases. RPD, incidentally, I've never asked this, but, like, and I hope the answer is yes, but, like, are you okay with me iterating? Like, sometimes when you make a joke, I iterate on it when I read it back. I change the word slightly to make it a little bit funnier, or a little bit, you know, more of a conversation piece. You're okay with that, right? Like... Okay. I figured. It's just one of those things that popped into my head. I was like, oh, I should ask about that. Because I do it all the time. Highlighting her hands is coming out very well. I don't often say that, but in this particular instance. Oh, that's a heck of a difference. You've seen what I can do. Either you do what you can to stop it, or I go on the rant again. Oh, the rant. That was a night. We played our first story mode game of Definitive Edition today at the store.
Oh, how was that?
It was excellent. It was excellent.
I finally got my shipping notification.
Did you get the sleeves with it?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. I think the ones without sleeves came in, or shipped out before the ones with sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... of course, I already ripped a card with Legacies, so I gotta get that replaced, but... I don't love sleeves. Like Christopher, I don't like the way they feel. But I recognize in a game like Arkham Horror, where we're handling the cards constantly, there's almost a necessity there to sleeve.
Yeah.
And our solution, because I don't want to sleeve every card that I've got, our solution was color-coded sleeves based on the colors of the investigators.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the Guardian has blue sleeves.
Yeah.
And that seems to work really well. Now with cards that, like, trade things around too, makes it easy to put things back.
Yeah.
Look at us not being so different, you ripping Legacy physically and me shredding him verbally. Oh, RPD, there was something... Somehow my head got onto heel turning the other day at school, and I don't remember why. But I thought of you. I wish I could remember what it was. I meant to message you about it. But I definitely turned heel over something, and it was funny. It made me laugh. Just on the topic of, we're not so different, you and I. Foundations. I don't think I can come up with a better heel character for myself than that moment where I solidified Legend Killer as my heel gimmick. Man, sometimes the creases in a costume just work so well, and you know exactly where the highlights need to go.
Yes. And then sometimes it's just like, nope, we hate you.
Yep. I think this model has simultaneously embodied both of those states of being.
Schrödinger's pain in the ass.
Uh-oh. That's my mother.
What?
My phone just rang. Usually at this hour, that's not a good thing. Which, in retrospect, if it's my mother, probably isn't a good thing. Holy crap. Just responding to my cousin's invitation to a bonfire next weekend. The actual character of RPD is inspired by anywhere else. It's probably Nature Ric Flair. I actually know roughly who that is, RPD.
One of the great state treasures of North Carolina.
One of the great what?
State treasures of North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ric Flair's from North Carolina.
That's awesome. The inside of Jubilees' raincoat being the darkest area, I'm not even touching it with highlights. I'm just like, base coat ink wash done. Because there's basically no light in there.
And so I feel.
I saw a really cool Space Marine today that was painted with a specific camo pattern that's like actually legit, and it was it looked like Azrael from Batman.
Awesome.
It was so cool. I'll have to email the guy who sent it to me, or who showed it to me today, and get it to you, because it is a very cool paint job. Definitely something that I'd be like, no. Game recognized game, right?
Yep.
Somewhere. So I'm just going to tighten these spots up. As for building, I've been planning on my revisit to the fighting game story arc idea. Gonna get me in a good long chat with Taffy about how to properly pull off some of these kind of ideas. I can repay him that tour. No, there we go. So, last Sunday, my niece tested positive for COVID.
Uh-huh.
And so immediately went to COVID jail, as one does. And she binge-watched the entire MCU in like 3 days. It was very impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot of movies.
Yeah. And then she spent like all of Tuesday evening texting me questions about them.
Had she not really seen them before?
She's seen most of them, but like not in order. So she was like, oh, this happens here and interacts with this in some way. And I'm like, dude, I have to teach tomorrow. Like, as proud of you as I am, and you know I am, this is not the right time to be texting me as I'm going to bed Tuesday night.
Yeah. I wish my kids were, like, this week, we had snow last Sunday.
Yeah. Which for you is a rare occurrence. For us, it's, just another Tuesday.
We had 3 inches, I think, total.
Oh, no. Whatever will we do?
We were closed for the entire week.
What?
The kids were out of school the entire week.
That 3 inches is like a 2-hour delay, maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so, for those watching, I'm ragging on Rudy because New Hampshire has the infrastructure to handle that. We've got plows out the second that it starts snowing, where North Carolina doesn't really have that set up. So clearing the snow, like, they often have to bring in trucks from way the heck out of state.
Yeah, we pre-salt the roads and do like some of those measures, but it's not great.
Yeah. RDR, RPD. Jesus. So what I need are 8 heroes, 2 Capcom riffs, 2 Midway riffs, 2 SNK riffs, and 2 Oddball Obscure references. Well, I can give you the Capcom ones, for sure. I would say go one, like, obscure Mega Man, one Street Fighter. Is it Street Fighter? No. Yes. Yes? Street Fighter, right? I'm gonna go smaller brush. Let's see if maybe we can do a little bit better here. But then, of course, so the next day, Wednesday, teaching became skating, because that's what we do every Wednesday in January. We take the kids skating. So, at that point, Tegan, still from COVID jail, is texting me all kinds of new questions. Or after I sent our family group chat a picture of me in my hockey jersey. I think I need a shot of clone. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay, that's fair. So was did you and Casey have to contend with the perennial parenting nightmare that is childcare on a snow day?
Nope. I just stayed home with him. Casey started her new job.
Oh, nice.
Monday. And so it's like, well, I guess I'm staying home.
Yeah.
But she can't miss her first day of a new job.
Right.
All things considered.
Yeah, that's a little tricky. So she's not doing airline seats anymore?
She's with the same company in a different position.
Oh, nice.
So she was getting frustrated with the Thompson, 2 years of 60-hour weeks and working weekends and all that nonsense. And so she started looking for a new job in November, October, and got an offer with Honda Jet. And was about to go there, and then her current company was like, hey, we made this completely new position and we want you to fill it. And she's like, I accepted an offer, and she's like, this is what their offer was, salary, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and they matched her.
Oh, so dang!
This new other thing, and essentially the new salary was enough to cover essentially what me and her were already making combined.
Whoa! That's sick.
Yeah.
Well, tell her I said congratulations. That's pretty rad. It was really nice to when we did our call for the interlude in our Arkham Horror campaign to hear Casey. Haven't heard from Casey in a long time, so that was nice. Okay, the pink next. Oh, Jubilee's almost done. Like. This is a very quick highlight. Alright, we're gonna go with Pink Horror. Get out of there. Dried on bits. We don't want any dried on bits. Really? RPD, that's... Oh, the fact that they've already done a character so generic that that is his character. I've already done my MK Mortal Kombat Ninja, so now I need to figure out which of their other weird obscure fighting games to pull from. There I cannot help you. It's outside of my sort of purview. Never really got into Mortal Kombat. Cool. Much as I sing the praises of C27 for their fantastic sculpts, they really, the hand positioning on this one is really tough to paint. I actually really do love that Dan's character arc is him slowly but surely becoming a legit character. Sounds an awful lot like another Dan we know, RPD. And that would be Sir Daniel Sexband.
Not my favorite color, the second favorite color to paint.
What's that?
The yellow. My second favorite color to paint.
Ugh, I hate yellow.
Yellow is awful. White is like the only thing that's worse.
Yep. And I just painted a ton of it on Jubilees back. Alright, I'm much happier with the color of her shirt now. It's much more Jubilee. Mr. Daniel Sexbang the Third Esquire. Mr. Sir Daniel. Better known as Lee Daniel Abaddon. What's this? Oh, what's this? Why do I have 2 pots of Emperor's Children? How did I do that to myself? Oh, this one's sealed. In the words of one Richard Hammond, well, why has it done that? Oh, Rudy, did you see the joke that Paul posted yesterday in Adam's Discord?
Which one?
The one about his uncle Rudy.
No.
So Uncle Rudy, one day, was sitting at the breakfast table, and he said to his wife, "I think it's going to rain today." And she said, "It's bright blue sky. Why do you think that?" Oh, sorry. I missed a whole chunk of that setup. Never mind. Let me start over. So Uncle Rudy was a Viking. They called him Rudolph the Red. One day he was sitting at the breakfast table and he told his wife, "I think it's going to rain." She said, "Well, it's bright blue sky out. How do you figure that?" He goes, "Because Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear."
I do remember that now, actually.
Yeah.
I forgot who sent that one, so I didn't, like...
It was Paul.
Yeah.
I got so much mileage out of that yesterday. It took Tegan forever to try and figure out what it meant. I was like, is COVID brain a thing? She's usually very quick on those kinds of things. What?
It kind of is.
Yeah, from what I understand.
Okay, this is the first time I've had to use this paint. This is the Army Painter. And this yellow is actually solid. Like, it's coating very nicely.
Nice.
And, yeah, it looks great.
Alright. Just need dry brush the pants. Is that it? No, her hair too.
I hate when you are looking at a menu and find out you missed a spot.
Ugh. Star-Lord was giving me so much trouble with that in base coating. I was ready to throw this model out the window.
I think I've got the base coat all done.
I think I may have just... Oh, her hair. Keep forgetting her hair. Yeah, jumping on the stone will work. Guess I gotta do that on her base anyway. Just a tiny bit though. Okay. So we can get back some of that detail.
Nope, nope.
Alright, and then a little bit of Necron compound on the grate. No, this is the best paint job I've ever done. Anyway. Oh, there's some parts of this mini that I'm really fond of, and others I'm just like, I don't know what I did wrong here. Maybe I'm just... You know what? Let's paint the base ring. Sometimes that actually saves the paint job, which is weird. But finishing the base is a magical thing. I'm thinking the bright pink for Jubilee's base ring.
Yep, that's definitely what I would do.
It's going to be Emperor's Children. This one's going to require multiple coats, though, I think. Oh, their paints are slightly translucent, which means you can see right through them. This looks pretty cool. I like this bright pink.
Mm-hmm.
Face barf swamp for me.
The face barfs?
Face barfs. My name for Facebook. It is wife's cousin just got into her high school's National Honor Society, so I texted her this morning to say congratulations. And she just got back to me now.
Well, that's a good thing.
Better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Jubilee. One of my favorite X-people. Get her on camera for just a second. I think she came out pretty okay. Put her in the case and pick another one. The second hour here. I think the logical place to put her is right next to Wolverine on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And let's bring out Pyro. My favorite X-Men villain. One of my favorite X-Men villains. X-Men have so many cool villains.
Yes, I do.
He's should be pretty straightforward, I think. I get to do my patented fire technique too, which I love. But of course we got to start with yellow again. Yay. But he is a muscle-bound whack job, so he's actually a little bit easier to do the yellow on. This guy just like we did Wolverine and Sabretooth before him. Got to watch a 40K game today.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, aside from just hanging out with people I haven't seen in 2 years, well played, and they seem to enjoy themselves. I always love watching casually played games, where non-tournament style. I mean, because like someone makes a mistake and you're like, oh, you made a mistake, and they're like, oh, whoops, yeah, let me rewind that and try it again. Nobody's calling judge on you. They're just like, oh, let's learn this game and get better at it. You hang around with hyper competitive people for long enough, and sometimes you forget that sort of mentality exists. I also did moving comics today, which means my back is out. But that's nothing unusual.
Yeah, I think you move comics a lot.
Huh?
I think you move comics a lot.
I meant my back, but yeah. My boss in his infinite whatever called the store today instead of coming in to basically tell me nothing at all except to gloat about his this piece of wood that he bolted to the back wall in an effort to allegedly support a pile of comics. And he was like, oh, you can put another layer of boxes on top. And I was like, oh, really? With what space? It wasn't wide enough. But I appreciate his effort. I might try and monkey with it tomorrow. See if I can make it work. Man, I am in a complete loss for conversation topics tonight.
Yeah. I'm usually not, we talk about so I'm usually not great because I tend to focus, and once I start focusing, I'm zeroed in on what I'm doing, less than paying attention and talking.
Yeah. I guess that's the main difference for me between base coating and highlighting is like highlighting requires a little bit more focus, a little bit more precision, where base coating is just like get that coat down.
Yeah.
So with highlighting, I tend to like be a little more quiet and a little more focused. I'm gonna go down a brush size here. I'm trying to make Pyro's costume like look a little bit like fire, more than just. So I'm leaving slightly bigger spaces between his muscles than I normally would. Also, Citadel's Cassandora Yellow Wash is pretty violently orange.
Yeah.
Definitely not my favorite. It's coming together all right, though. I'm not disappointed by this. A little radical here with the pipes and whatnot attached to his arms. So I don't feel like individually highlighting those. We have tools for that. It's called dry brushing. Cool. Takes care of that. We'll return to that red dry brush after these commercial messages. No. Close enough. Red. I guess it's Evilstone Starlight? Yeah. That'll be fine. This one's working as intended. By as intended, I mean it goes over the layer, or goes over the base coat, kind of bright, looks a little ridiculous, and then fades slowly into obscurity, blending itself seamlessly with the base coat. That's how layer paints are supposed to work. Some of them do, others do not. Which ones are going to work? Who's to say? Sometimes it even varies by model.
Yeah.
I just realized that when I paint Daredevil in the yellow suit, I'm gonna have to fight with yellow again.
Yep. It's not gonna be fun.
Ugh. I don't wanna. But if Pyro's any indication, I think the yellow suit's going to come out just fine. Like, Pyro's looking really, really good right now. I'm actually very happy with it. Yellow and red really goes together extremely well. I think that's part of why I was so drawn to the yellow Daredevil suit, is like, it just looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Kirby, once again, knocking it out of the park. On that initial character design. Oh, so in what might be shocking news, considering the times I've brought up, I'm on the verge of quitting Cookie Run. What? No way, RPD. Never thought I'd see the day. What brings on the change? And while he responds to my question, did you see, Rudy, that they are making a sequel to Chicken Run?
I did see that, and I was very like, why are they doing that? Because that makes no sense.
It seems foolish, but...
Because I don't think the original one did that well to begin with.
It did fine.
Despite, like, at the time, Mel Gibson was in it.
Yeah, and they recast him. He's it's Zachary Levi playing that role now. So I love Aardman. I think they do incredible work. I am so excited for a new Wallace and Gromit movie. But I'm just like, really? does the world okay? More Chicken Run? Like,
no, it does not need.
I really don't think it does. I remember laughing my face off at the first one, but like that was what, 20 years ago or something?
At least.
Yep, it was 21 years ago. 22 years ago. And it looks like we've got Chicken Run 2. I'm just looking to see if there's anybody I reckon. Oh my god.
What?
The kid from Game of Thrones.
That doesn't narrow it down. There's like 8.
I know. Like the one who was actually a kid at the end. And was like commanding a whole bunch of armies. What?
The 3-year-old, like the really tiny one, or like Bran who got thrown out the window?
No, the one who was like in charge of some component of Winterfell's army.
I think that would be Bran, because he eventually becomes...
No,
like,
it was a girl. I guess I could just click on her name and, you know... Lyanna Mormont.
What?
Lyanna Mormont.
I don't know who that is.
She's in it. David Bradley, who he plays oh, he's Argus Filch in the Harry Potter movies. He's in it. That's gonna be funny. And Zachary Levi. Who are you? I think I've seen you before too. Somebody from Mission Impossible's in it too. I don't know, it just seems so unnecessary to me.
What isn't unnecessary coming out of Hollywood these days?
Oh, I know. It's so frustrating. It's been 84 years. Alright, I think I need to see if I can bludgeon this wild rider red into life again. One last hurrah. Come on, work with me now. Just enough to highlight this backpack. Much more traditional definition of success on Pyro here. You ever get like weird bits of caked up paint in the back corner of a paint pot, and then you reach your brush behind that caked up paint, and there's just a little bit left?
Yep.
That was the weirdest feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The last couple minutes longer. Idiot paint pot. I think that'll do for that bit. Wild Rider Red holding out just long enough for me to get that done.
Very fortunate.
I have a student who would love that RPD. I have one student who's just absolutely bonkers obsessed with the Titanic. Brings it up literally every class. Dude, I get it.
It's a good movie, but...
Not the movie, dude. The actual, like...
Okay. It is a good movie, though.
Yeah. I remember laughing hysterically. I was absolutely bonkers funny. My best friend and I growing up were... Well, not altogether different in terms of rabble-rousing the way I'll do instigating. I'll poke the bear every now and again. Jenny and I were pretty blatant about it. We did it a lot, mostly to her older sister, Catherine, who was often named our babysitter, so we had plenty of opportunity to harass her in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenny and I preferred to be outside. That was, like, we just wanted to be running around playing hockey or whatever. Catherine and her friends preferred to be inside. They were teenagers. They were watching movies and stuff. And Jenny and I were, like, I mean, we were responsible. So Catherine didn't really have to do a whole lot when she was watching after us. So one day, we had been out skateboarding, and it started to rain, so we went in. And Catherine and her friends were watching Titanic on the couch and crying, like sobbing their eyes out. Jenny and I thought it was the funniest movie in the world. Because we immediately identified, oh, well, that door is big enough for both of them. Why is she being jerk?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Also, why is this clearly an industrial-sized swimming pool in New Jersey? If this was really the basically the Arctic, they'd be a lot more uncomfortable. Probably not doing a whole lot of talking. But no, it is an absolute cinematic masterwork. Like, as a perennial student of film, James Cameron is nothing short of a genius. It was a 1990 whatever. The world is not ready for a water-based version of Snowpiercer. I did once try to get Gabe interested in the HMS. I think it's the HMS Octopus, the world's biggest personal yacht. He wasn't buying. Or biting, you know, either way. Oh yeah. For what little flesh there is on this model. Brush. Oh, that, yeah, it is a small brush. I'm just stupid.
Over stuff.
What's wrong?
Knocking over stuff.
Welcome to my world. It is a constant struggle. Not much left to go on this one. This one was pretty easy. Oh, I did miss a couple bits. Let's see if I can patch those up real quick. that again in a second, though, because it's time to do fire. Dry brushing. Good thing we have a dedicated dry brush for red. You know, dry brushing just goes so freaking fast.
Yeah, dry brushing is awesome.
It may not be the most precise technique in the world, but it does get the job done in a lot of cases. But pro tip, have a separate dry brush for dry brushing with reds, because they will stain the crap out of your brushes.
Oh no.
What's up?
I just got butterfingers today.
It could be worse. You could have butterfingers every day. Also, it could be raining. I don't know why, but I have this sudden overwhelming urge to go record shopping. A friend of mine posted one of my favorite Rush records on his Twitter this morning. I was like, man, that's a good record.
Now I need to go buy something.
Now I need to go buy some. Permanent Waves. It's one of the prizes of my collection. I got it for like $4. It's in very, very good shape. I also need to, buy a new turntable, but that's a whole other thing. One I have is getting a little old. And doesn't get the use that I wanted it to. Oh dear. That yellow done. Brighter yellow. Neon yellow here. Just and leaving one last little bit. Tiniest dry brush of white scar. I don't usually like the way this comes out, but I always end up doing it anyway. It's this bloodletter glaze that Alex puts over fire, and he can always get it to work, and I can't. It's really frustrating. But I guess that's because he's got baboon powers. Try it here and see what happens. Good God, for once I think the baboon was right. On actual fire, the glaze works great. On lava, less so. I guess that means we've finally done learning and growing on tonight's stream.
Good job.
Dry brush. I always grab dry paints and shake them, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put the Necron compound down here for the reason of the ground around him is on fire. I feel like the diamond plate would be reflecting the fire, not drowning it, not like removing it. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm just going to paint his base ring and call him good. How's yours coming, Rudy? You can,
I think I am. I got a couple more spots to touch up on Axton, but.
Alright, well, I'm going to finish this one up real fast, so give me a second. What color base ring does Pyro get?
Probably orange.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, orange. That's a good move. He's orange enough. There's no actual orange in him, but I think you're right. It's the midpoint between the two primary colors in his costume. Two coats on this, and I'm gonna do this, and then the Troll Slayer orange. Too bright. Well, I'm happy with it. It's fine. Yeah, yeah. It's subtle. I like that.
We got Maya
Nice.
and Axton.
So is that it? Is that all the Borderlands characters?
All of the Borderlands characters.
Nice. We should have a graphic that, for when we complete a set of something. Yeah. Let me get Jubilee here real quick. I did. All right, so we got Jubilee. And Pyro.
Jubilee looks great. Pyro
All
looks
right.
really good.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us for watching Paint Dry. We will be back in a week, hopefully, with Adam. Adam was feeling better today, which is good, but it's also Ness's birthday weekend, so we're let him off the hook for that. So hopefully we'll have him back next weekend. We'll be able to have a little bit better conversation when I'm, when we're all working. Sometimes it helps to have three people and three sets of ideas, and sometimes Rudy and I just get trapped in our own heads. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody, and I will be back on the channel on Wednesday for Zach Sucks at Games, working through some more Spider-Man PS5 nonsense, and we look forward to talking to you then. Rudy, always a pleasure doing this with you, man.
Yes, I had a lot of fun with it too.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye.
See ya.